Respond to your question, specifically seeing that you've written quite a lot of things. I know that I won't be able to do justice to all these things in a few minutes, but one of the things that I thought would help is to cover the things that you have discussed. First of all, you mentioned that you want to do SIM. It's very important, and I commend you for that goal. It's very important to have an objective in life. And I know that you are pursuing SIMA, and that is your passion. But there is other point that I mentioned along the way was whether doing SIMA is exactly what you want. It's one thing to have a profession, which is something that you use as a tool to earn money. The profession is merely a tool for earning money. But sometimes a profession is not necessarily your hobby. And that's why I had asked you what your hobby is. Most rich people have made money, not in their professions, but in their hobbies. So I'm trying to make here a distinction between a hobby and a profession. These things are two different things. Often people who make big names for themselves, who succeed, they succeed in the areas of their hobbies rather than in the areas of their profession. Most people who work, remember in life there are basically three groups of people. There are people who are employees, and there are people who are employers and investors. So depending on which group you are, but most people who work, they are people who earn money by just going to work. And they never really make any big names for themselves. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because you need to know what you really love to do and develop the talent along the things you really love to do and make money out of it, rather than developing your talent in a profession. The profession doesn't earn you much money. That's my point. But however, it provides you a good start which launches you into your future life. But know that the profession doesn't make you big. It just gives you a launch pad, like a helicopter needs somewhere to land, like a plane needs somewhere to land and somewhere to launch from. That's just it. So a job in a similar way helps you to launch yourself, to get started, to start earning money, to have control over your own finances. It just gives you a start, but it will never take you any further than that. The other point I want to move to is you were mentioning something about the systems. You want to learn systems of a business. Very important. Every business that is successful and that has succeeded needs systems. You are going to be a chartered accountant, a CIMA or ACCA, whatever chartered accounting you're going to choose, to have a knowledge of systems and be able to set them up and review them and make them functional. Because if they are successful and if they are functional, then you will be able to have a business running. McDonald's has a very functional system. Of course, they sell hamburgers, something simple, but they've made money out of it. But the other most important thing about systems is that people themselves, people as individuals, people don't have systems that rule their lives. That's one other thing I want you to make sure that you are very aware of yourself, that you have a system. You have, by systems, I mean principles in the connection with yourself. Have principles, not which I'm equating to systems in this sense. As an individual, you need to have principles that govern your life. Because businesses succeed by having systems. But individuals also succeed by having principles that govern the way they do things. If you are going to succeed, you need to have your own principles. Very important. There's no person who has succeeded if they don't have principles. You need to put them in writing, put them down, write them down, keep reviewing them, read them, and let them rule your life. Let them apply to yourself and see the application of those principles that you have developed. Be your own master and be your own supervisor and be your own a guide to your own life. You are on the steering wheel. You need to have your own principles about business, developing systems. But the most important thing, before you put systems on a business, put systems on yourself, because this is what guides you to success in the future. Even if you don't have principles on yourself that are clear-cut, you are not going to succeed putting systems on a business. My final point is this. You have mentioned something about making mistakes, and you seem to be so concerned about being very accurate, being mistake-less. Generally, people who have succeeded in life have made many mistakes, generally. People who don't make mistakes generally don't succeed that many times. If you become so consumed and overwhelmed and worried about making mistakes, that can stifle your progress in life. The guy who developed the light bulb, you know the bulb, the globe, people call it, Edison, Thomas Edison made 1,000 failures before he came up with a working light bulb. If he was concerned about failing, he would have probably only tried once and would have said, no, I can't make a bulb. If he had only tried 5 times, he would have probably quit. But he made over 1,000 failures trying to develop a bulb. So just be careful. When you get consumed with making mistakes and getting worried with making mistakes, it's important to make mistakes because you are going to. And it's definite that most people will make mistakes in life. And it's not going to be a surprise. What makes a difference is what then do you do? How do you pick yourself up when you have made a mistake? Because if your mistakes are going to stifle you and become a stumbling block to you, then that's a different story. Because we don't want mistakes to cripple our lives. Mistakes should provide us a lecture, a basis on which we shape our future and reshape our principles so that we become better than we were yesterday. Obviously, I'm not saying just be reckless, go on doing reckless things. No, that's not the point. The point is you need to make mistakes in the area of your passion, mistakes in the area of things that you are trying to improve on in your life. For example, you want to be an accountant, you want to go into consulting. So you need to try new ideas. And in the process of trying new ideas, that is where and when we expect you to make mistakes. But then if you don't try, you never make mistakes, you never learn. And people never know that you have passion in doing this thing. And you never get better. And you just be like any common person. People who don't make mistakes don't make a name for themselves. They never succeed in anything because they are stifled. They are frightened. They are crippled of making mistakes. My point is this. You have a good opportunity to be whatever you want to be. Go on doing SEMA. But the main objective of doing SEMA is not to become only a worker. The objective of you doing SEMA should be to be responsible for your own life, be a successful investors, inventors, business people. So your objective should be any one of those. Yes, if you want to be an employee, that's fine, but it's not good enough. It's not inspiring enough. You must have principles in life. Just as you are thinking about having systems and being strict about systems, have systems that apply to your own life as your principles, the foundation, the rules that govern how you do your daily work, how you live your life, how you conduct yourself every day. And finally, don't be so consumed about making mistakes You will never get everything right in life, but be responsible for learning from your mistakes and in becoming better than you were yesterday, because it's only through learning that you become better.